Yo, what's up? Rizzo the Hero, what's up? All right, so guys, check it out, man. I wanted to really, it's been a while since I really gave, videos of advice like talking about, but thing is that I really wanted to speak on this topic today because this has been, I guess, a trend with ladies, just anything of the female species, the female community. And no, it's not all women, okay? But this is a trend. And I don't know if women realize this, but it just shows how trashy you are as a human being. It shows how much of a scumbag you are. And I'm not trying to bash women. I'm not trying to down women. What I'm doing is giving you guys advice, and y'all have to know this, okay? Because it's like I said, whether it's said or not, it comes out in action. The reaction of it, you're gonna see what you are, regardless. Like I say, you can lie to the world, you cannot lie to yourself, and you cannot lie to God. Okay, and through God, yes, things will be exposed, period. You have to know that the truth will come out because God is the truth, But the thing is that this trend of women, to whereas you want to broadcast a time in your life, or even currently, to whereas when you curved a man, okay? I never understood women. I never understood how that could make a woman, how a woman feel as if that could make her look more attractive. You know what I mean? I mean, whether you're telling it to another guy, whether you're telling it to a female friend, I mean, if it's something personal behind closed doors and you're saying that you curved him for a beneficial reason, maybe he was a creep, maybe he was an asshole, maybe he was disrespectful, or, just too forceful, too pushy, that's understandable. But I'm talking about how women want people, like, you give the exact names of guys. You let people know, he was into me, but he wasn't tall enough, or he didn't have this, or he was just too nice, or this and this and that. Guys, people, period, okay? Let me tell you something. That's no different from a guy, telling his homies or telling the whole world that, a young lady who was respectful asked him out on a date or asked him to prom, but because she wasn't famous, she wasn't sexy and fine, she wasn't whatever, okay? He curved her, he told her no. You know what I mean? Me growing up, being a man, from a little boy to a man, I never thought guys like that was cool. I never thought guys like that was the shit. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be like them, okay? But the thing is that, you have to understand something. Even when you hear a female say, well, he just mad, he don't want to talk to me, he don't want to deal with me because I don't want to fuck him, or because I don't want to give him no pussy, or because I had, fucked his homie, but I didn't want to fuck with him, or I did this with some other guy, but I didn't want to do it with him. Ladies, listen, that still makes you sound like trash. You have to understand something. Just look at women like that, okay? Pay very close. I'm gonna tell you what I've noticed about women who gets off on, for instance, prime example, and I'm not, bashing the sister, nothing like that, but how Salt not Salt is the one who I actually like, but how Pepper, the rap group Salt and Pepper, right? She went on this rant about how she curved Will Smith. Oh, he asked me out, he wanted to date me, but he was just too much of a nice guy. He just wasn't that guy for me. But baby, if he wasn't a somebody, why would you want people to know that? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, is fucked up because of the fact that you're trying to clout, you're trying to get, attention off of how you down someone, okay? Y'all want to talk about how y'all curve guys, what guys y'all curving, what guy didn't have this and he was too nice and he was too short or he didn't have enough money, stuff like that. You never want to tell a story about the guy that you curved him for. You never want to tell a story about how he was the one who played you, how he was the one that you took when he didn't have shit. You know what I'm saying? You moved him into your life, moved him into your house and shit like that, and took care of him. And he mistreated you, misused you and shit like that. And the minute he got on his feet, the minute he got a job, the minute he started making money, he left your ass for somebody else. You don't want to ever talk about that, okay? But it's okay for y'all to talk about, just really pay attention to yourself and look at exactly what you're doing. New Orleans, y'all need to fix the fucking cracks in these roads, bitch. Seriously. Fucking up people's tires and shit. Oh, scamming ass city. But any goddamn, when you try to, make that into a lifestyle or brag on that, first of all, it's like they say, people listen to everything that you say, and people pay attention to you and judge you on your character by the things that you say, for the most part. But the thing is, when you do stuff like that, all you do is just show the next man, and just show numerous men in the world that truthfully, you are a bitch in some way. Okay, so they know what they're gonna have to deal with, okay, at some point. But if you ever pay attention, me myself, I'm gonna tell you what I've noticed about women like that in life. They're always with a man. They always make a man priority. They're always chasing after a man. They're always seeking validation or favoritism or likeness from a man who's always showing them in some way that she is not priority. They're always chasing, like, think about it. Think about it. You're trying to downplay a man who went out his way. If he approached you, whether he was not your type or not, whether he was not you wasn't so sexually attracted to him or whatever he didn't have to pretty much, get you in his favor, he still went out his way to show you that you're priority. Whenever a man approaches you, whenever a man talks to you, whenever a man spits game or mag on you, whatever you want to call it, whenever he does that, he is showing you that you're a priority in some fucking way. Whether he wants to just fuck, whether he just, want to get in your pants, whatever, okay? It doesn't matter. He is still showing you some type of way, even if he's creepy. He is still showing you that you're a priority. You are beautiful. You are attractive. You are worth me taking out and spending money on, okay? So think about it. You're downing him, but you have nothing. You're not the guy who fucked you over, the guy who used you, the guy who you curved him for, the guy who was 6 feet tall, the nigga who drove some kind of sports car, the guy who was the player who had all the girls, whatever. You're not gonna never let the world know how he ruined your life. You're not gonna never let the world know that he's the reason that you bald head. You're not gonna never let the world know that he's the reason that you got fat as fuck. You understand? You're not gonna let the world know that he's the reason you had all them kids out of wedlock. You're not gonna let the world know that he's the reason that you have this amazing career financially, but you still can't get a man, because every time a man gets to know you, he see how fucked up you are mentally. Okay? So you gotta think about that. So just know that, guys, with women who do that, women who want the whole world to know, oh, I curved him, oh, he asked me out, he tried to get with me, but I told him no. Women who make that a problem, I'm not saying that it's wrong to just speak amongst it, for a woman to speak amongst it amongst her friends, but pay attention to her as a woman. If you pay attention, more than likely, amongst her female peers, like cousins, aunts, sisters, and shit like that, her homegirls, her bitches, her day ones, she's more likely the one who doesn't get respect from women in her circle, okay? And it's like I said, women like that, if you pay attention, they're always seeking validation from men. The men who show them that they're not a priority. Women like that, if you pay attention, the majority of them are side bitches. They're not wives. They're not who have boyfriends or men who claim them to the public. I'm being 100% real with you. You know what I'm saying? There are women who at some point you will see they always chasing a guy who will never really want to be their man. Just fuck with them, use them, you know what I'm saying? But never really wants them. Never is no man of high value, no man of high stature that claims her. I can promise you that. You know what I mean? This is why I've always, when it came to like the public and the media, growing up in my era, this is why I've always looked at women. I've always admired women like this, like women like Halle Berry, okay? Women like Maya, women like definitely Raven-Symoné, sisters like that. Hell, Brandy, my baby, of course, Kyla Pratt, you know what I'm saying? And truthfully, even with childhood, I have to admit, shout out to the sister Amanda Seales. I'm gonna tell you why. Although Amanda Seales is, I guess known as a feminist, whenever she speaks, she doesn't down black men. Like, with Amanda Seales, I liked Amanda Seales even when she was on the TV show as a little girl, My Brother and Me, because she just seemed like a sassy ass little girl who just needed a good man, a good boyfriend, and that was me. Absolutely, you know what I mean? Sisters, see, that's why I say sisters like, those sisters who I named, Halle Berry, Maya, Kyla Pratt. Although those women are known for their beauty, okay? They're known for their beauty, but most of all their personality. They don't seem stuck up. They don't, write songs, or they don't do, movies or brag to the public when they speak to the public about how they curved a man. And sisters like that look, just from looking at them and seeing their personality, they had to tell a guy no at some point. You know what I'm saying? Is guys, if they didn't say yes to every man who asked them out. okay? But sisters like that, they stand out from it. These are sisters like that. You're not gonna never see a man step to them and just say something else, like just say something out of line. You're not gonna see them you never see them in the public eye in a bad way. Hell, but sisters like that, you know what I mean? Who has the opportunity to speak out or curve men or bash men, they just don't do it. They're beautiful, they're well divined, they're outspoken, they're educated, but they don't do it. So just know that, guys. A woman that always, you know, makes it her priority to just talk about how she curved. Oh, he asked me out, I told him no. Bruh, I'm gonna tell you right now, she has never found love. You understand? It is no man stepped into her life and say, baby, look, you don't have to work no more. No man has ever made a priority. That's why she's stuck on that. That's why she's stuck on how some man approached her and told her she was beautiful, made her feel beautiful, feel as a priority, and she curved him. Why? Because she's never gotten that since. She's never got it. She's probably out there searching for you. Seriously, whoever the guy is, she's out there searching for that guy. She's just hoping that she can just show up somewhere looking dressed nice, looking like $1 million, and she see him. And he just get her eye. And if you do, ignore the bitch. You understand? Real talk. But anyway, though, man, Rizzo the Hero, I just wanted to share that with y'all. No, I'm not trying to fucking bash anybody. I'm just making that known, okay? Ladies, you have to really pay attention to yourself. You know, why would people admire you or show you respect and you're disrespecting someone who showed you that you're a priority? You know, so just think about that when you want the whole world to know how you curve somebody. Just imagine, you know, me or just any other man in the world making just posts and letting the whole world know how we dogged a bitch, how we lived with a bitch when we ain't had shit, then we had money, we took off. You know what I'm saying? How we fucking like made some woman feel as if we loved her, then got her pregnant and just vanished, just fucking abandoned her and the kid. You know, like the shit that come out y'all mouth, bruh, and no, don't blame rappers, bitch. You understand? It's y'all. It's y'all with y'all envy, y'all ignorance, and y'all hate. It's not all women. I'm just telling you, I love women. I care about women. So yeah, I'm gonna let you know what makes you look like a fucking scumbag when you open your mouth, bitch. Okay? But anyway, though, Rizzo the Hero. Love y'all, ladies. Peace. Bye. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm sorry I'm on lunch. Listen, but what was even more, and this is real shit, why I always saw women like that who want people to know that who want the whole world to know that they curve someone. Why do you want to share your experience with why do you want to share the world? Why do you want to share your experience with why do you want to share your experience with the world of someone you have no history with? Y'all have no history. Whoever this guy is that you curve, y'all have no history together. You never had sex with him. You guys were never intimate. You never hugged him. You never kissed him. He's never taken you out anywhere. He's never done nothing. So why do you want the world to know that you have no history with this man? Okay? That's what I'm saying. That's how y'all need to realize how fucking delusional you sound and how retarded you look. Okay? Because 9 times out of 10, you're only saying that to be scandalous, to just be conniving, to just you only hear women talk about guys like that when the guy is up, when he's successful, or else when another woman is checking for him, and it's a woman for sure that he would definitely pick over you. That's the only time throughout my life I've heard women doing something like that. You understand? And if you want the whole world to know that, oh, this guy asked me out on a date and I curved him, I told him no, all you're putting out to the world, to the universe is, I don't appreciate and I don't go for guys, anyone who makes me a priority. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing is, like I say, yes, everyone has a right to not like what they don't like. Everyone has a right to not be attracted to something, even if it's attracted to them, okay? You can't help that. But you are broadcasting to the nation. You're speaking it out into the universe. That, like I said, any woman who does that, a man knows already that you're a bitch. Period. You're throwing it out there. Second, he knows that you're scandalous. Because just like you're talking about it, you're going to do it to him. Something to him. Whenever you're not dealing with him, or whenever you and him are not together, you're going to make up some kind of rumors about him. Some kind of bullshit about him. You're going to spread some kind of fucked up allegations on his name. Okay? Guys, let me tell you something, bro. And this is the honest God truth. Ladies, first of all, ladies, what y'all have to understand is no means no. Okay? Yeah, we know y'all like saying it, but no, that goes both ways. No mean no. You told him no for a date. You told him no for anything of him asking you out or you and him being, you know, alone and acquainted, having quality time, you need to keep his name out your fucking mouth. You need to let him live his life. Whenever other women want to approach him, that story should never be brought up. Because guess what? You not with him. You and him, y'all never had nothing. No history. So you need to mind your bit. No means no. Keep his name out your mouth. Stop trying to ruin his reputation. You have to understand, why would God send you a man? Guys, let me tell you something. All these women in this world that y'all think are beautiful and just top notch and fucking high value, stuff like that. Do you know that like 99.9% of them, a man don't want a fucking thing to do with? Seriously. You have to understand, like, I've always noticed that whenever I've taken women out on dates, whenever they always want to brag about how so many guys want to take them out. Oh, so many dudes want to take. Well, bitch, why you out with me then? That's what you have to understand. If she got it like that, fam, she's rocking like that. She's up there. She's a 10. She got it like, why is she on a date with you then? I'm not shitting on your game, you know, at all. But I'm saying, ask yourself that question because she's full of shit. She's lying. That's why I tell guys, you have to listen to everything that comes out of, listen to everything that come out of her mouth, but pay attention to her go off of, judge her by her actions. Okay? You only listen to what she says, only listen to everything that come out of her mouth so you can realize how full of shit she is when you see the complete opposite. Okay? Whenever a woman does that, whenever a woman says, you know, brags about curving a guy, or a guy showing interest in her and she just played him to the left, or she just downplayed him or downgraded him or belittled him in any way. To me and any other real fucking gentleman, any real man, it's the difference between a gentleman and a simp, okay guys? But a gentleman, a real man, all we hear is, and he was dumb enough to see me as a princess. He was dumb enough to see me as priority. He was dumb enough to even think that I have claim to ask me out. You know, he gonna ask me out. He gonna ask me if I'm single. I'm like, no, I'm not priority. Yeah, I'm a hoe. Yeah, I'm a bitch. Yeah, I'm a slut. Yeah, I'm a cunt. Yeah, I'm conniving. Yeah, I'm scandalous. Come on. Why would you ask me out? I'm trash. I'm dirt. That's all we get from that. You understand? Most of all guys, more than anything, you have to understand something. This is real, okay? Pay attention. Rejection is God's protection. You understand? Rejection is God's protection. I don't give a damn how good she looked, how good you thought she looked, when you had all those visions of doing all those nice things for her while taking her out and, you know, maybe later on being romantic, you know, using your charisma, using your creativity to woo her, to show her that she's a prize to your life. You understand? While you was thinking all that, God is trying to show you she wasn't worth it. While you had all those things of doing things like a gentleman, like treating her as if she's a princess and you're Prince Charming, God was showing you she's not for her. She's not the one. Save that for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's why whenever I'm with a woman or, you know, I'm in the process of getting to know a woman, I don't never pray, oh, may she be the one. No. I pray to God he showed me all the signs that's needed. Okay? And never ignore signs, guys. But rejection is God's protection. She told you no, and guys, listen, bro. When a girl curve you, she tell you no for any fucking thing. Don't talk to her no more. I don't care. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Marisol.
Sí, señor.
Acá.
What can I get for you?
What do you suggest?
Sex on the beach.
Well, why don't you give me a phone number? I'll see what I can arrange.
I don't think so.
Salute. You back off, my friend. I will kill this beautiful love. I don't give a fuck. She don't want to give me a phone number anyway.
555-6969.
Cállate.
I'm sorry, I'm Chinese.
Cállate, te dije no jodas.
Fuck that bitch. I don't care if you go to school with her, you go to work with her, church, whatever. You need to find yourself in a department, move to a different department, whatever. Move to a different part of the fucking classroom to where you are not around. You don't have to look at her face. You don't have to communicate with her. You understand? When a girl curves you or plays you to the left or just overlooks you for anything, and you continue to try to get her attention to be a fucking friend or be a homie or just to socialize with her, she's never going to see you as she's never going to value you. She's never going to see you as a king. She's never going to see you as a man. You understand? So like I said, I don't care how mean it sounds. No, that's not mean. Women that play you don't want you to have value. Women, for some reason, when she curve you, she wants you to just basically I swear, as dumb as it sounds, as fucking delusional as it sounds, when a woman curves you, she expects for you to really not have a life after her. She expects for you to not date anyone. She expects for no woman for you to look in no woman's way and you to just spend the rest of your life worrying about how you can get her in good favor, how you can get a date. That's how fucking stupid, as retarded and delusional as that sound, that is women. I am telling you. Women expect for you to run into the after they done curve you, run into them fucking years later somewhere after she done got fat, she fucking bald headed, this bitch gotta draw her fucking eyebrows on and shit like that. She expect for you to look at her and be like, wow, you are still the most beautifulest girl in the whole world.
Wow, you are still the most beautifulest girl in the whole world.
Wow, you are still the most beautifulest girl in the whole world. Most beautifulest girl in the whole world. As fucking stupid as that sounds. So just know that, guys. When a woman curve you, bro, don't ever fucking talk to her never again for nothing. You understand? I don't care if her fucking life depends on it. You better let that bitch die. You understand? She didn't give a fuck about you. She didn't want to be alone with you. She didn't care about what made you happy. So fuck that hoe. You understand? You know, and at the end of the day, bro, just know that's what it's all about. She can only sit there. Most women, like I tell you, all of them, to me, who sit there and brag about guys that they curved, the guys that they said no to for a date. She have to clout chase. She have to use that as leverage, as a come up, because she cannot tell you any stories about how a guy she met, she was so in love with, swept her off her feet and gave her everything that she wanted. When are we going to hear stories about you being married? When are we going to hear stories about some Prince Charming coming into your life, a guy who you're actually sexually attracted to you, who you're actually sexually attracted to, actually loving you 50-50 or loving you more, telling you you can quit your job, telling you, baby, look, I want to take all the money that I've earned and help you start a business. I want to invest in you. You understand? When we going to hear stories like that? From you, since you want to fucking broadcast, since you want to put people out, since you want to try to mess up another man's reputation, finding happiness, okay? When we gonna hear story? Yeah, when we gonna hear that? And since you can't tell us that, well, tell us the stories about the niggas who fucked and dogged you. Tell us the story about the nigga who you did give a chance to, the one who you curved the good guy for, and the one who you did give a chance to. Tell us, we need to hear stories about that. We need to, what did he do to make you shave your fucking head bald? What did he do to make you fat? What did he do to make you put all them fucking tattoos on your body? What did he do? Is it his fault that you're a whore? Huh? Is he the reason? Huh? What did he do? What did he do to make you trust him every time he kept getting you pregnant and kept leaving, but you kept getting pregnant by him any fucking way? He kept abandoning you. He kept every time he got you pregnant, he used to go find 3 other bitches to go get pregnant, but you still kept. We need to hear stories about him. He's the one that's interesting. He's the one that you got fucking history with. He's the one that fucked up your life. You understand? Make a movie out of that nigga. Why we don't hear about him? Phone cast.
But anyway, Rizzo the Hero, later. Peace.